Hey guys, welcome to BBJ on Blitz. I'm Big Booty Judy. Just to give you a little background on me, I've been playing Blitz for 3 long years. I'm a member of the Triari, the best old-timers clan on Blitz. I take Blitz very seriously, but I try to have fun in doing so. I'm a pretty decent player, and I've learned a thing or two about this game. I've been wanting to try and help the Blitz player base, so I decided, why not start a YouTube channel? But here's the thing. I don't want to be like other Blitz YouTubers. I won't be giving tank reviews. You'll never hear me cry about Blitz, equipment, spare parts, or how wargaming is out to get me. In the end, it's just a game. And if you're not having a blast, what the fuck are you doing?
Watch your profanity.
Oh, and by the way, this is an adult channel, so you're gonna hear some cussing. Sorry.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Oh my god, y'all, it's the resident Spud sidekick, Humble Rumble. Humble and I met about a year ago, and we instantly hit it off. He is the peanut butter to my jelly, the yin to my blitz yang. He is one of the best high-tier players I've ever played with. He is very knowledgeable, extremely patient, and his situational awareness is on point. He has taught me how to stay calm in hairy situations, and also how to be an overall badass. More importantly, he's taught me how not to be a salty asshole. Yay! The Blitz community thanks you for that, Humble.
That's some bullshit and you know it. I'm the scariest, saltiest, meanest motherfucker in Blitz. You're far too kind, which is why I'm so excited you're doing this. For those of you who don't know, BBJ is a great person and amazing tanker as well. Stick around, she's going to teach you Blitz like no one else can. So that being said, Judy, what are we learning today?
Well, today we're going to go way back to before we had a clue and touch on certain things that we wish we didn't have to learn the hard way. You know, the 10,000 plus battles way. Back to basics really means back to basics. We're going to go all the way back to the beginning. And for you experienced tankers, this video, it may be a little boring, but it might just remind you of something you've forgotten. And for you new tankers, take notes, or you'll be 10,000 battles in and still spinning gold for Primo.
Yes. Alrighty, so now we built this up. What's the reason that you're playing on low? I see that all your settings are on low. We're looking at that right now.
Well, I play on low because I have pretty shitty internet, and for me, it helps not lag me down, lag me out, whatever. So I just have everything set to low.
Cool. Okay. And so with players with higher pings and that sort of thing, it could be a benefit for them to play on reduced settings. Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay. And then with the shadows and grass and sniper mode and all that, why are those off?
I have them turned off because to me, when you're in sniper mode or anything like that, it's all just a distraction, and I don't need that. I just need to see a tank to shoot it. So
cool. Okay, so it makes it easier?
Yeah, it makes it a ton easier for me.
Okay, very nice. Great, okay. And so now we're moving on to the second page. I see that you have quite a few settings here that are turned on or fixed with or messed with. You have auto-aim with the button. Why do you have auto-aim with the button on?
I have that on because it looks really freaking cool on my videos. No, I'm just kidding. Because a lot of times you have to turn auto aim off. If you've got a bunch of reds crammed up together and they're moving in and out, back and forth, it completely throws your auto aim off. And so you hit that button and you can be in control of who you want to shoot. It's yeah. Take some practice, nice, but you'll get used to it.
That makes sense. And then the lookout area, what is the lookout area?
The lookout area is you can there's a button, a scale at the bottom, and if you'll put your thumb on that and you go around, it won't turn your turret. You can actually look all around you without turning your turret. So it's very important to have.
And when would you use something like that?
I'm sorry?
When would you use something like that? Like just essentially when you want to keep your turret pointed in one direction?
Yeah, if I've got reds in front of me and I've got a red flanking me from behind, or if I need to look back to see, who's killing my dudes behind me, I'm going to use my lookout area and without turning my turret. Otherwise, if you turn that turret, those reds in front of you, they're gonna pop you in your noggin.
Okay, and I'm guessing that's a bad thing, huh?
Yeah, that's not a good thing. Like, you're going to
All
die.
right. And the ammo bar, what's the benefit of having it always out rather than
It, it
retracting and hiding?
it's faster. You know, when you start learning the different shell types and you see the different tanks in front of you and you've got to switch really quick, if you will leave that ammo bar out, it's so much faster to just boom hit that HE shell or you know switch to Primo, whatever you need to do, than to have to hit the ammo bar, pop it out, then go over. I mean, it's just always keep it out if you can. It's much easier.
Cool. Okay. That's definitely some advice I can start using, adapting. Okay, so now we're on the markers page. What is a marker?
A marker tells you, I have all my markers turned on, standard and alternative, because what it does is it tells you the tier of the tank, the model of the tank, who's driving the tank, their screen name, and their health. I think it's very important as you get to playing this game and you start learning the good players and the good clans, you have to keep your eye on them. You have to focus them out if you can, otherwise they're going to kill you. And the easiest way to do that is to have all of your markers turned on.
Okay, and then so what's the after they're dead? What's the benefit of having the markers on there?
That way you can look over and you be like, yeah, he dead. I know. I don't got to worry about him anymore because he gone.
Okay, so it's easier to identify dead players and where they died then.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
Keep them all on.
And so now we're on the last page. Do you have anything you want to mention about some of the sliders? I noticed you have clan invites turned off.
Dang right
You
I
don't want to
do.
leave?
No, I'm Triari. I got to stick with my boys. No, not leaving. No way in hell.
We'll get you one day.
I do. I want to mention the mini map. I think that is super, super important. As you get to playing this game, you will really, really become dependent on looking at your mini map to know where your team is, to know where the reds are. It's super important that you start out watching it and learning it. That's one of the big ones. Rangefinder and reload timer. We're going to go over that here in a little bit with some videos. And friend requests, because you always need a friend.
Very cool. I noticed you have Supremacy on as well. Do you enjoy Supremacy?
No, I fucking hate it, but you make me play it all the time.
Well, it gives a little bit of a variety, so I think it's exciting and
It
you
is
learn, and you're pretty good at
easier.
it.
It is easier, I will say, to master a tank with Supremacy on, capturing bases, yada yada. It is much easier to do that. So I'm learning.
So there's a
I'm learning.
big old benefit.
Yes. And in same control mode, I prefer not to play with keyboard and mouse players, so I turn that on, and that way I can just play with my little iPad buddies.
All right, very nice. So you said you were going to expand on the lookout bar and the rangefinder and the reload timer. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, you see in the bottom right, there's a scale right there. That is your lookout bar. If you'll put your thumb on that, you can actually turn without turning your turret. But you see my turret is turning. That's because I have auto aim on. And it's all jumping. Everything's jumping around everywhere. That's what it gets you. If you turn off auto aim like I just did, you can totally hit that lookout bar. And bloop, you can see everything all the way around your tank. Just makes life a lot easier. Yeah. And then you turn it back on. And I'm going to shoot you in your butt.
I'm pretty sure I got further away than you. And so there, here we go. And now it's transitioned over a little more quickly than I expected. But now what are we looking at?
We're looking at the ammo pop-out bar. You see I'm switching between HE, AP. It just makes it so much faster when you have to switch between your shells to leave that bar out.
And so normally if you didn't have that option turned on, if you were to choose a shell, would it retract?
Yeah. If you had that option turned off, it would absolutely... It would, every time you hit to switch ammo, it would go back in. So it's better to leave that option on. That way it just stays out the entire time. All right, now we're going to talk about the direction indicator. If you'll see those green lines in front of my tank, that's telling me which way my tank is traveling. This really becomes important when you're in sniper mode. If you see the little tank right here in the middle, that's my tank. And you'll see arrows. The green arrow's going forward, and the yellow arrow's telling me I'm going backwards. Things get a little chaotic, you know, and if you're in sniper mode, you need that to help you know which way your tank is angling, which way you're going. It just makes life a lot easier to have that turned on. And I just shot you again. Alright, now we're going to talk about the reload timer. See right there in the middle, 15.8. That is my reload for this E100. And it is counting down right now. This is super important with any tank that you play, especially autoloaders, anything like that, because the reload is so much longer on them. But you know that you can't pop out and you can't take hits. There's no point unless, you know, you need to keep a teammate alive. But it just helps you know how much longer you have to shoot your shell. So definitely turn that on. Now we're going to talk about the distance indicator. Humble, why don't you take this one over?
Well, this is one of my favorite settings, mostly because I neglect to use it. I always have it on, but I forget to use it. And it's one of the most beneficial statistics that you have in game. Here you can see that the U in the E100 are looking directly at the 50 me, but I'm unspotted. And then when I fire right now, you can see that I become highlighted. You can see me, and you can use that kind of information to know what range your tank can spot and what range your tank gets spotted. And so it's hard to keep track of, but always when you're trying to get to a new tier or a new tank, and you're trying to learn that tank, use the distance indicator to kind of gauge and learn what you can do with that tank.
Learn something new every day, folks. Now we're going to talk about consumables. I do believe this is a personal preference, whichever that you like, but I always bring my speed boost, my adrenaline. Always. No matter what tank, my turtless TDs, doesn't matter, my speed boost is there. That's my friend. And I also bring a multi-purpose restoration kit all the time.
And why do you run the speed boost on your turtless TDs and TDs in general?
Some may call me crazy. It may just be all in my head. I'm not quite sure. But all I know is when I have a light or a medium trying to COD me, which means circling me, circle of death, I will hit my speed boost and I can catch them. 9 times out of 10, I can catch them and get to where I need to go to kill them, to stop them, to track them, whatever, and it truly helps me. A lot of people will bring the extra repair kit. I'm just a sucker for my speed boost, so like I said, personal preference.
Well, that's great because, I mean, I think a lot of players don't consider using the speed boost other than just going in a straight line fast. I mean, that's a really nice and refreshing take.
Yeah. Now we've got provisions. Why don't you take this one, Humble?
Well, it's funny because the provisions are, again, they're one of those unseen things. They change the game in a way that you can't actually control other than applying them. I think the general school of thought is to take the large foods and large gasolines and leave the protective kit alone. The protective kit can be useful in certain scenarios, like if you've got a tartless TD that keeps on getting tracked, or a super heavy that always gets tracked, like the mouse or the E100. In those certain situations, you might want to put on the protective kit, but general school of thought says run the large food and large gasoline, and then maybe one of the small foods and small gasolines.
Good to know. Now we are on the ammo loadout. As you can see here, I've got my T57 heavy tank, my tier 10. I love this freaking tank. It's awesome.
It's fucking fantastic.
The reason these numbers are kind of off is there are 3 shells per clip in this tank. And I always bring HE, just, you know, a couple of whatever to reset cap. Anytime they're capping an HE shell, 9 times out of 10 is going to pin them. You don't have to worry about it. You just shoot and, you know, you're going to pin them. You're going to reset that cap. As you can see here, 10,000 battles into this freaking Blitz game, I learned that you don't have to pay gold for Pramo and, you know, for APCR, for heat. I know, right? What you do is right where the shell type is on the right-hand side, the middle. If you will just hit that, it will take away the gold, and you will now pay credits for Pramo. Yay!
It took me about 1,000 golds worth of Pramo to learn that lesson. So.
Oh, I thought it was boss spamming gold Pramo at people. Oh my god, I'm such a noob.
Just throwing money away.
Alright guys, now we're going to talk about, we're just going to touch base, because I think this needs to be a whole video, to be honest, different shell types. But now we're just going to touch base on the different shell types for the tank. And Humble, I know that you are so very smart, and you can explain this a million times better than I can, so why don't you take it over?
That's her way of saying that I spend too much time looking at the statistics. But generally speaking, there are three different shell types, generally speaking. You got your HEs, you got your APs, and you got your APCRs. The standard shell type is the first one in your ammo loadout list on the top. And that one's going to generally do more damage with average pen. The next one down in the middle is going to do a little bit, slightly less damage, about, I think it's 10 to 15% less damage with higher pen. So tanks that are harder, that are more red, and you can't get through them, and you keep on shooting them and nothing happens, switch over to Pramo, your premium ammunition. That's what Pramo stands for. And it'll boost your pen. You'll do a little bit less damage, but you'll actually do damage. And finally, you have your HEs, your high explosive rounds. Those are at the bottom, and they have, generally speaking, they have very low penetration numbers and penetration values, but they give you a boost in damage. So for the most part, it's around 25% extra damage. Some tanks it's a little less, some tanks it's a little more. But that's your basic 101 of ammos and ammo shell types.
Awesome. And remember, anytime you see a light tank, shoot him in the ass with HE. And an American tank, shoot him in the ass with HE. Alright guys, this is going to conclude our tanking lessons for today. Hopefully we didn't bore you too much. Like I said, this was a back to basics video. Comment below and let us know what we left out or anything that you want to see next. Class dismissed.
Bye-bye.
Bye guys.